All right, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. It's 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock, and we are kicking off a nice week of broadcasting in August 2025. As I say in the description of this episode, we have now gotten to what would be the gooey center of this month. We're right smack dab in the middle of it this week, and it should be good. I mean, tonight we're going to do a little bit of news from the weekend, calls, see what the hell you guys have seen, heard. What do you know? What do you say? And then tomorrow we've got just a great string of guests. Lobster and Raven of the Nephilim Death Squad's coming on tomorrow. We got to I wanted to talk to them about the Nephilim from Miami 2 years ago, and whatever the hell that was, that very strange event that everybody says, no, it was just children making a ruckus at the mall. That's why we needed to send an entire standing army worth of police. And I want to talk to them about that because I believe that topic is what they cut their teeth with, or teeth on, when it comes to broadcasting. So there will be that and a couple other topics I wanted to bring up that should be nice compliments to the whole thing. On Wednesday night, Jay Gulanello will be in, and we've got a great guest on Wednesday. We've got what's the name of the actual channel again? His name is Sam, but the name of the channel is Posture Dojo, and that's going to be fascinating. I found him on Instagram. He's got scoliosis, and his back is as jacked up as you would think it would be, living with this. But instead of surgical interventions, he has created an entire program of tension to actually stimulate fascia and elongating and creating mobility and better alignment in his spine just with internal tension. It's really incredible. I can't wait to talk to him. He'll be a guest in the first half of that show. Jay and I will just put together some fun topics for the evening. That'll be nice as we get closer and closer to the Jamboree. All types of cool people are going to be coming out. There's a chance. I can't say anything definitive just yet because it really just might not happen. But I'm hoping that we can get people like Chris Ann Hall to come out too. I got in touch with her to get a little bit of comment on tonight's main topic, which of course, out of everything that happened over the weekend and is now happening now, we have this crime crackdown in Washington, D.C. Of course, it's on the streets of Washington, D.C. I mean, I'm sure you want to see things get cleaned up wherever the hell it is. Most of us want to see half of Congress get arrested. That would be great if they were both happening at the same time, but we're not lucky enough to have that happen in our lifetime. Maybe. There's still life to live, right? So you got to hold out hope. Anyway, that'll be good. And then on Thursday of this week, we've got Jerry Marzinski, and we'll be talking to him. Psychotic Voices. We'll be getting into the work that he has done personally on schizophrenia and the origin of those voices and the spiritual element of that. We've kind of skirted and flirted with and around that topic, and we're going to be able to talk to somebody who can really just go off on it. And it'll be a wonderful week. It really will. So that's all happening this week. There will be a Summer Friday that I am off this Friday, the 15th. Of course, that I'll still be here at the studio all day. I'll be working in the studio, things that are getting changed physically and redecorating and a whole bunch of other things that are going on that are contributing to the overall production of this show and every other project that we have leading up to and beyond our big events in the first week of September. So I hope you enjoy this week. I'm certainly going to as well. There's a lot. But you know what? The days drip away. All right, so let's get started because it'll be a little bit of kind of like a grab baggy kind of a night, and there's no reason to talk about anything else right now that we already previewed our week. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I welcome... Oh, hold on. What the hell's that? Mendelssohn. I welcome you to Quite Frankly.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back.
Does anybody else want to stay?
Let's ride!
All right. So, here's something else for you. I put the link in the description of this episode, and I'll be sharing it around. And Saturday night's show was so awesome. It was great. I hope that you guys go and check it out. It'll be premiered on Friday or Saturday night. Probably Friday night this week. They'll be premiered on Friday night this week. I had my cousins Sherry and Dave in. We were watching cringy, hilarious music videos from it was a wonderful night. Took a lot of calls. It went into a little bit more of reminiscing. We went to home videos and everything else like that. Saturday night show. The link is in the description. It'll be rebroadcast on Rumble and maybe elsewhere over the weekend. I don't think YouTube that'll happen just because of all the music videos that were pulled up, but you're not going to want to miss those live, my friends. It's on Pilled live. You can watch through the portal that is quitefrankly.tv. A lot of fun. And yes, catch up because it's an evergreen topic. It doesn't matter when you watch it. It'll still be very, very nice. And I will whistle when I want. Let's keep going. Let's keep going to a little thing over here in New York. I thought you guys would find this pretty interesting. There's a Masonic lodge that is for sale in Little Falls, New York. There's a Masonic lodge that's for sale, and it is, what is this? It's over 6,000. 16,000, just about 17,000 square feet. Okay. And only 2 bedrooms and 3 baths. Take a look at this. It's under $500,000. Just a hair under $500,000. There you go. That's where you have all your big meetings. That's where you have your meetings. That's the throne room. Oh boy. Oh, it's fully furnished still. So, I mean, look, they got the Ark of the Covenant in Little Falls, New York. It's just sitting there. So, I mean, it's got an organ, perfectly creepy. Imagine what you can do, all the hosting you can do, Halloween's. What is that, a bidet? No, that's not a bidet. It's a combination bidet and drinking fountain. Something going on there. Oh, there's the 1 bedroom. Just in case you need to take a rest from all the rituals. And that's crazy. So less than $500,000, about $10 less than $500,000. So you get a couple of friends to pitch in on that, and it is a prime piece of real estate. You turn it into a nice little spooky hotel, and there's nothing else you really need. There's nothing else you need on top of that. Okay, so here is our big topic of the night, and I'll give you guys lots of time not only to call in on this, but other things, because when we had our morning meeting, And everybody was suggesting non-political topics for the evening. One really nice one was asking what were some subtle inventions, some inventions that really changed the world in a big way, but they're easy to forget. So I started researching subtle inventions that changed the world. And we went through a couple of the ones that I found in one quick, search on Grok this morning. But I got more over here, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. For example, this morning we listed the ballpoint pen, 1938, or the zipper, 1913. So build that up. When the lines are open, I want to hear some of your subtle inventions that changed the world. All right, so here's what we got from the president not too long ago. I think this morning? Let me see. Yesterday, August 10th. So like I said, news from the weekend. Donald Trump says we're having a news conference tomorrow in the White House. I'm going to make our Capitol safer and more beautiful than ever before. The homeless have got to move out immediately. So the homeless have to move out. We will give you places to stay, but far from the Capitol. The criminals, you don't have to move out. We're going to put you in jail where you belong. It's all going to happen very fast, just like the border. We went from millions pouring into zero in the last few months. This will be easier. Be prepared. There will be no Mr. Nice Guy. We want our Capitol back. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And there's attached pictures of tents and encampments, all that stuff. You should see what the sides of the highways out there in Anaheim are like in California. But there's a difference between what's going on in D.C. and there's lines that got to be drawn up here. Now, I would love to see the complete financial plug be pulled on places like New York, especially since you got a commie, dyed-in-the-wool commie that is probably going to become mayor of that city, and he should have absolutely no money coming from the federal government. Neither should any city. It shouldn't be whether or not you're in compliance with one immigration order or another, or if you're in compliance with one thing or another. It is not a carrot that should be on that stick. The stick shouldn't exist. The string, the carrot shouldn't exist. It's got to go. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about why things are what he's doing is appropriate. I want to know what what you feel about it, and then expand beyond DC a little bit. So first, here is some reaction from CNN. And I thought Wolf Blitzer was gone. I thought this geriatric, what did Michael Savage used to call him? Blinky. He sits there blinking. Wolf Blinky Blitzer. That's fun. Anyway, take a listen to this.
Already getting reaction from D.C. council members.
We are, Pamela and Wolf. This coming into CNN from Council Member Charles Allen of the 6th Ward in D.C. His post is, quote, "The president taking over local control of MPD and putting the U.S. military onto the streets of D.C. under the guise of public safety is wrong. It's an extreme, outrageous, and dangerous move for our city and the safety of all of our residents." He's the first city council member to react to this whole thing. None of them had reacted really last week to this in any real measure. This is the first time a city council member has reacted and come out strongly on this. We're also reaching out to Mayor Muriel Bowser's office and the office of the Metropolitan Washington Police Department for their response. We started to reach out to them while this news conference was going on. No word back from them yet. The mayor has been fairly muted in her comments on this. She did speak out yesterday.
Well, she can stay mute. Trump federalizing police in a federal district. Okay, so the real issue here is that there are any residential areas in D.C. at all. That's what I don't understand. Okay, aside from maybe having barracks or some sort of a dormitory, whatever, for people who are working for constitutional agencies or the Congress itself, maybe you want to give them all give them all cots in a tiny little YMCA style room, so people coming in for votes and debates have some place to go back to and make their YouTube and Instagram videos. But But yeah, Trump deploying National Guard to D.C. and placing police under federal control.
Interview, but did not openly criticize the president for this. It's an extraordinary move. We have to point out, never before in American history has a U.S. president taken over control of the Metropolitan Washington, D.C. Police Department.
Wow. Who gives a shit? I think that what was done in January of 2021 was far more weird. Okay? But when it comes to trying to crack down on local crime, can you imagine if this wouldn't lead to any kind of information on some very, very high-profile, unsolved murders in Washington, D.C. You wouldn't need this to do that. I think everything's already on file. But as far as the response that we're getting from the locals, this is where things really go off the rails. Because the media is out there to be obtuse, to try to paint this. Of course, everything is unprecedented. Everything is horrible. It's the worst it's ever been. And this is going to kill us all. And on my OMG, it's really Hitler now. But when you go down to the street level, it's like wherever you point a camera and wherever you flick a microphone on, you're always going to catch something really depressing. Here's the first one I got for you. Take a listen to this.
We have home rule for a reason.
Because of its safety and crime the president is worried about, Green has some thoughts to add to his agenda.
Or is he going to come pick up our trash next? Is that what I should expect? We do have areas with high grass that he can cut. I have infrastructure problems in my community. Can he put some funding on the table for that?
He shouldn't be making those kind of decisions. That's more like a dictator.
Gotti thinks that if this is the way the administration is going to continue...
Everybody now is in like a big old gumbo pot of, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what's in it. You know what I'm saying? That's all. You don't know what you're going to get served.
No, I don't know what you're saying. So the first guy, I guess the first guy was trying to say, because I don't know, maybe he was literally asking for somebody to come and cut the grass that he can go and cut himself if he cared that much. I don't know if he was literally asking for that or that there's infrastructure. Perhaps what he was just saying is that there are bigger problems in D.C. than crime. And if that's the case, then what is it? And of course, lack of funding, right? Just didn't have, we have infrastructure problems and the grass isn't getting cut. And listen, just for your information, I went and checked, and the proposed 2026 city budget that Mayor Bowser put out there, Bowser's Castle, is about $22 billion. Mayor Muriel Bowser proposed a $21.8 billion budget for the district in 2026. So imagine the nerve to say no thanks to crime fighting, but then ask for someone to cut the grass or fix local infrastructure, $22 billion budget. Then again, I guess it doesn't take nerve to say stupid shit if you don't know anything to begin with. And then you have this. You have this. It's pretty incredible. This one we can talk about for a little while.
Great. The president has been trying to provoke violence here, right here, in the black communities and in the brown communities, having ICE kidnap our neighbors, having the black community be harassed.
First of all, ICE kidnapping neighbors. So I guess that is a catastrophized way of describing a lawful deportation. And right before the 2024 election, we were getting, I mean, obviously this woman is being trotted out there for a very specific, embarrassing reason, and she's a polarizing type of person. These people always find the cameras because it's easier for people at home to say, this is Black America. This 100% of it, which is very sad for decent, smart, productive Black Americans that have to be pulled down by this Neanderthal talk. And of course, all the memory of listening to Black Chicagoans or anybody else prior to the last election talking about how all of their local resources that they used to be able to rely on in some kind of a meaningful way were now being split and diverted to people who are not only not American, but who were just showing up over the course of the last 8 to 19 months. And now over here, it's about they're deporting all of our friends and our neighbors. ICE is just kidnapping them for no. It's a ridiculous grift. It really is. But then it goes into even crazier directions, of course. And I'm sorry, you're not going to literally you won't understand most of it. It's a foreign language.
And profile and want a response. We say, hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go.
She wants a response. She's saying that it's actually, if you go and you are going to fight crime, it's just being able to take criminals off the street. If the police are called, if shots are fired, if somebody's breaking into a convenience store or into somebody's car, if something unlawful is happening and the police come and take that person off of the street, it is actually, according to this woman, a low-key way of antagonizing black people into becoming violent. That's what you say. We're not going to follow your antagonism into prison, whatever that means. So now enforcing the law is something that she's saying is going to be. You think that we're just going to get triggered into rioting or something like that? I mean, it's all very offensive. It's just ridiculous. I mean, that's why I'm saying it sucks that people like this are always pushed in front of the cameras and the microphones in public. And then of course they bring the little bit more the more polished Marxists. The polished Marxists who pick their hair out, who fluff their hair up and they let the top go gray like a Q-tip. That means that you're a college Marxist. They go on CNN and they start talking about a little bit. They go chapter and verse with the 1619 Project shit. But this is just for common rabble rousing. The CNN people are too articulate for the people gathered here.
When we say we won't go, that means we're not going to those mass incarceration, into their prisons and enslavement. We won't go into their ICE, what he call his beautiful centers that he got. We won't go to where alligators live. Hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go.
Who's sending black people to alligators? And to be honest, I mean, I don't know. Isn't all the rest of the days of the year when crime statistics come up or anything like that, don't they love talking about how white people commit more violent crimes or something like that, and nobody really understands what per capita means? But we get into everybody's always like getting into a food fight or whatever. If what you believe about the world is true, if it's not racial, why are we talking racial? This is the thing I don't understand. There should be nothing to protest. There's nothing to protest. You would want to be living in safe environments. Why are you protesting against this? And every time they roll somebody out there like this, it's just one declaration after another, because it's never really coherent. But they don't even realize that whatever coherent statements they're making really come off as declarations that black Americans in D.C. or wherever the hell the issue is, they're the ones that are mostly posing a violent criminal threat. That's what this says to people. But I guess the optics don't really matter or anything like that. It's just they don't even understand how self-defeating this is.
Hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go. Today we gather to speak plainly about policy path that sounds strong, but in truth, it weakens the very safety we seek. We believe there is a better way to protect us all. One that respects rights to build trust and keep our communities truly safe, and that is fascism free.
fascism. She tried to say fascism free. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. There's more. There's over here. She just starts jumping on white people.
Our oppression, intimidation, manipulation tactics. We have the right to demand respect, to protect ourselves and protect each other. And as the executive director of Hers Wildest Dreams, I want to name.
Well, I don't even. What the hell was that? They needed subtitles on this one.
White people's civil rights have never been in danger.
White people's civil rights have never been in danger. We don't control our businesses anymore. We don't control our income. Our freedom of speech is abridged. While all this nonsense is amplified. And of course she's got her allies in the back going, yep. I don't know. Without having to go into all of the ways that this woman couldn't survive without white people, can we just be allowed to opt out of the system? You know, the system holds us down. We keep hearing about that. I don't like that system. I'm talking for myself. I think a lot of people in this audience might be along with me. I don't like the system that you believe holds you down. I would like to withdraw from it. I don't get any power from it. In fact, most of the power I have, and everybody has in their life, is to be able to go out and earn something for yourself, make something for yourself in a dignified way, and use the fruits of your labor to build a better life and a better future for yourself and your family. And 4, 5, depending on where you are and what you do and your state laws, 4, 5, maybe 5.5 months of your year is gone, stolen by the system that hates us. Okay? By the system that hates us and you, Miss Lady. The system hates us. And the system's beneficiaries are taught to hate us as well. Okay? So can we just opt out? I don't want the power that it gives me, that you think it gives me. It doesn't give me anything. It takes from me and it labels me an oppressor. It labels me a beneficiary of some unseen privilege. And it gives to you, Miss Lady, gives to you, and it assures you that as a perpetual victim, we have to continue striving for something more equitable for all, which just means more slavery for everybody. See, now, don't get me, and like I say, don't get me wrong. Black Americans like this woman are beneficiaries of a system, but by being a beneficiary, you're a lifelong infant. And that it goes for all white people who are stuck inside this, who are being educated by the system, who are on means-tested programs, who want to get off, who don't care about getting off anymore. The system feeds you, educates you, though no education is present in this video. Pays for your phone, your roof, the drugs. You're just an angry infant forever. You just stay an angry infant forever. So yeah, white people largely have the shit end of the stick because we're largely paying for all this stuff, and then we get the special designation of enemy of humanity at the end of it. So it's just, and this is why I'm telling you, man. This is part of the reason why I feel so much hatred in my belly when I write those checks to the IRS. Because I'm not a hateful person. I don't treat people around me and in the world as anything less. I see spark. I try to find that spark of divinity in all people. And of course, I allow them to show me who they really are. And I try to be a good judge of character. And I try to judge real quick. Find all types of red flags. Try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But I don't have to do that with the IRS. I hate them. When I write those checks, I feel nothing but hatred. Losing the fruits of my labor is bad enough. But then I think about how it is all just ultimately used to destroy humanity, including the ability for people to treat each other civilly. It's just pure hatred. Now, as far as Washington, D.C. goes, Donald Trump by my estimation, I have not read what Christiane Hall just sent into the show, should be able to do whatever the hell he wants. This is a very specially designated plot of land where the federal government is supreme in every way, shape, or form. And let me see here. Let me read this. Wait. Before I read this, here you go. This is from the Washington Post 2 hours ago by Emma Uber. Says Bowser uses Trump's takeover of D.C. police to call for statehood. A mayor says this city should be a state right now. Mayor Muriel E. Bowser used her press conference Monday to call for D.C. statehood so that a federal takeover, such as the one President Donald Trump announced this morning, would not be possible. My message, exactly. So what does that tell you? It's legal. It's legal. And she's doing a terrible job as mayor. Want a little bit of delegation so that there is some sort of local governance that can coincide with what is a federal strip of land. A little bit of delegation, and it's not working out too well, though the budget is enormous. My message to residents is this: we know that access to our democracy is tenuous. Your access, I couldn't get inside of democracy all day. That's why you have heard me and many, many Washingtonians before me advocate for full state. You don't even like the word Washington. You hate the man you were named after. Before we advocate for full statehood for the District of Columbia, we are American citizens. Our families go to war, we pay taxes, and we uphold the responsibilities of citizenship. Apparently, it's more like a war just to go get gas out there, at least in some neighborhoods. Bowser said that if people are concerned about the district's police department autonomy, they should advocate for D.C. statehood. Or you can just do a good job with the incredible amount of resources you've been handed. If people are concerned about the president being able to move National Guard into our city, the time to do what should have been done in Congress, had a bill, blah, 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 blah. It's just incredible to be able to move deeper into our democracy. It's nuts. You should be saying, please, we would like to leave. We would like to take all of our residential areas and be absorbed by Maryland once again. I don't know where the borders would work out because the federal campus is just all over the place. But I wonder how that would work. It would be great, though, if this could be solved. Then it would be Maryland's problem. That's the other thing. All right, here is from Christiane Hall. Frank, this may not be the popular answer, but it is the constitutional one. We must be very careful about inviting federal government to police our cities. For the states, the Constitution deliberately denies Washington, D.C. and federal agencies jurisdiction over local law enforcement because the people must control their own communities and the people cannot control federal government. Washington, D.C., however, is different. Okay. Yes, that's why I said this is why I said we're going to talk about what's going on in D.C. and then what would be really great when it comes to cities like New York City. Because you can't do this in New York. And I hear that already being floated. Washington, D.C., however, is different. It is not a state. It is not covered by the 10th Amendment and is not real. And its only real local protection is the Home Rule Act of 1973. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 gives Congress exclusive authority over the district, and Congress has delegated most day-to-day policing to D.C.'s local government, at least until it decides otherwise. That means the president's executive agencies have a freer hand in D.C. than in any state, but here's the danger. If we normalize federal policing in D.C. under the plea of necessity, it will be used as a precedent to spread into the states, and I can see that. Expanding federal policing powers turns them into a standing army, maybe not under this president, but the next one could use that power to rule America's streets like a political king. It's not safety, that's a road to tyranny. I'm not surprised that the D.C. state movement would try to capitalize on this crisis. However, making D.C. a state would not solve problems, it would amplify them. The founders were very deliberate in making sure Washington, D.C. would never be a state. They knew that if the seat of the federal government were inside of a state's borders, the state would gain dangerous leverage over the seat of the federal government. Dangerous leverage over the entire nation. Imagine if Congress, the president, and the Supreme Court were all physically located in a state whose governor could block access, cut off resources, or use its laws to interfere with federal operations. That state could hold the entire union hostage. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 gives Congress exclusive legislative authority over the Capitol to prevent that abuse. By keeping D.C. independent, they are ensured no single state could dominate or intimidate the federal government. Turning D.C. into a state would undo that safeguard and create the very imbalance of power the Constitution was designed to prevent. I wonder about its, 2 or 3 electoral college votes as well. I have to imagine that's because of how robust its residential area has become. I forget when that was awarded, but I don't even like the fact that it has electoral college votes. I don't like that at all. So that's what I got for you on that. And of course, over the next couple of days, I've read things like this deployment of National Guard troops in D.C. and whatever. It really only has a short lifespan, that maybe only 30 days. That it could be part of some sort of a limited engagement operation or whatever. But what has been declared is that it is an operation to address local crime. And I would like to hear what you guys have to say about that. Not only just the implementation of it all, but the response of it all. I think from a cultural standpoint, the response from people who make it on television. Remember, it's all part of the play. You know, you're part of any of these. There's reasons why everybody wants to put a person like that inarticulate woman on their platform. You know, it plays with people who still watch CNN or MSNBC. That plays with people. They'll bob their head in agreement. You know, someone like Right Side Broadcasting Network or someone else would put that on, and knowing that everybody will have a lot of fun commiserating with each other and throwing rotten tomatoes at her as she's mumbling to nowhere in particular with her speech. But always remember that it's all there to play on us. Those of us in the audience, we have a responsibility to really watch the way that we respond to things, because it's all bullshit and it's bad for you. It's all bullshit and it's bad for you. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about. How you see this coming apart, and why the hell would anybody in their right mind stand up and say, "Well, yeah, well, we don't need any help. I don't want less crime. I just don't want less crime." Then again, you can see how disabled some people are to think that, okay, well, if a criminal has been taken off the street, how's it bad, and how are they trying to trick me into being violent? If somebody was arrested in your town for robbing, destroying, or whatever the hell it is, selling drugs on the school campus or something like that, why would you ever feel compelled to want to act out to where you could somehow do something that would lead you right into the same jail as the person who actually committed a crime? That your response to that situation, like to even cook that up and put it out there, that is what any kind of a campaign to cut down on crime in one city or another is really all about, that it was somehow a way to agitate people into committing their own crimes in response so that they too can go to jail. It's fascinating. It's so fascinating because it's so stupid. But we got a lot of smart people in this audience, so I want to open up the lines. 914-200-0269, 914-200-0269. So while you do that, we're going to go from one nanny state to the next. Okay? I'm going to give you guys some time to call in. One part of Canada, I think it's Nova Scotia. Hold on. Where the hell is it? Shit. Where's my link? What the hell happened here? Hold on a second. I got to find this. Somewhere in Nova Scotia, at least that's where I think it was. I was going to play a video with you. Maybe I got it under my likes. Give me a second, please. Somewhere in Nova Scotia, they're telling people to stay inside the house because it's a wildfire. Hold on, let me see. Wildfire, Nova Scotia. No, let me see here. It's got to pop up. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Now, this was from a couple of days ago. This is from a few days ago, but I was just seeing it today. I said, okay, you know what? This would work because we're going from one place to another. This guy, Nova Scotia Premier, he bans hiking and fishing and camping, or even walking in the woods in the entire province for wildfire safety. And you can face a $25,000 fine if you don't abide by his edict here. Take a listen to what he said. Take a listen to what he said last week.
PM today, we're telling Nova Scotians, stay out of the woods. We are restricting travel and activities that really aren't necessary for most of us. Hiking, camping, fishing, and the use of vehicles in the woods are not permitted. Trail systems through woods are off limits. Camping is allowed, but only in official campgrounds. The fine for violating any of these bans is the same as the fine for the ban on burning, $25,000. And if you're a smoker, for God's sakes, be mindful of where you're butting your butt out. If you don't, and you cause a fire, we will hold you accountable.
But here's what I don't understand here. It's something to say that we are, and the more I look into this, I see that they have just as many of those problems in Canada, in these parts of Canada, that they do in California, where they're not actively clearing brush, that they have all their own environmental initiatives that are really biting them in the ass and causing a little bit more of a dangerous dry season and all that. And it's one thing to say, okay, well, we know we're in a tough spot. And so when it comes to camping, you're not allowed to, build a campfire unless you're on an official campground where everything is nice and open and you have, it's been dug out, rock lined, whatever. I can see where, but to say that no hiking, no walking on hiking trails. I mean, are you conducting a widespread arson investigation? That's what I was waiting for. That there was an investigation into widespread arson across the country, because otherwise, why does walking on hiking trails in a pair of boots or casting a fishing line in a river or a pond, how does that lead to fire? PSAs about smoking and about campfires, that makes a little bit more sense. But what the hell does walking and fishing have to do with anything?
So what does this mean if you have a home or cottage surrounded by a wooded area? We strongly encourage you to stay out of those woods, regardless of where they are.
I mean, just nuts. So because of it's wildfire related, people are very rightfully saying that this is a climate lockdown. Let's be all be honest. This is not the first time we've seen it, or the first time you can say it has been tested in some way, at least in a narrative sense. I mean, we were seeing all types of stuff like that throughout the summer and the fall of 2020 during the lockdowns, during the COVID lockdowns. We were treated to headlines, people delightfully reporting that smog over one city or another was disappearing because all the people were inside and there was no economy and there was no social life, nothing like that. Nobody was traveling and living their lives. We read from people who were reporting on the state of parks, nature sanctuaries, that wildlife and forests and parks were living better lives without us human beings showing up to enjoy the outdoors and driving through a path that's been designated in one national park or another. So we've gotten this stuff in the past, just in the last 5 years. I mean, back over that summer of 2020, when we started getting the Pope and the royal family loosening up and kind of widening the net on what all of the COVID lockdowns and what kind of opportunities were being presented at that time. That was it. Around June or July is when they started widening the net and talking about how this would be a perfect time to really finally once and for all tackle the climate change issue. You know, and yeah, I'm sure a lot of people agreed. A lot of people agreed. Usually the ones that show up and they dress up in weird clothes and all that shit. So just throwing that out there for you guys as well. 914-200-0269. Give me a call. It'd be wonderful to hear from you. So we heard from Wolf Blitzer. I thought this was something else in Washington, D.C. Nick Minnock spotted in D.C. Someone put a note on their car. Someone put a note on their car window asking for their car not to be broken into for a fifth time. A fifth time. The person writes, "There is nothing of value in this car, only restaurant supplies." Oh, why would you say that? Restaurant supplies? Restaurant supplies and broken dreams. Please don't break the windows for the fifth time. That's cute. The car owner thinks that people breaking into cars out there can actually read, let alone comprehend ethics or being able to feel human empathy. 817, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Frank. This is Cloud9.
Hey, Cloud9. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Well, first I want to touch upon two things. The first one is on D.C. just federalizing, potentially federalizing the police force and kind of going through with that. My whole issue with federalizing D.C. is something that you've already touched upon, which is, number one, D.C. is not a state. And by extension, by federalizing the police, this can present a number of issues just in terms of a constitutional basis, which I won't get into all the detail because it's already been said over and over again. But, it's just redundancy. It's like, first of all, the D.C. police in themselves sort of act as security guards, if you will, to most of the Capitol, the U.S. Congressional House and Senate, things like that. But you have the Secret Service who are there. You have DHS, you have the FBI. So it's all these other competing agencies that essentially should have, a duty to protect and preserve the livelihood and essentially the streets of D.C. And kind of like what you said earlier, why should there be residents to begin with in D.C.? But the second thing I wanted to touch upon was just this idea that you need to essentially, for this Nova Scotia debacle, if you want to essentially rise above any type of issue, whether you're talking politically or economically, the best thing that you can do is to become financially independent, financially free, so that in cases like we're seeing with a draconian mandate from an environmentalist perspective set in motion like this, well, do you have the resources to move out? And if you don't, how are you going to get there? And obviously it's easy for someone like me to say that only because, I'm an entrepreneur, I can make and grow businesses. But as a 9-to-5er, someone who is working most of the day, who is trying to earn an honest living and make honest wages, they can start to learn how to invest properly so that they can start to expand and diversify their portfolio. But I don't want to come across as elitist and say that it's so easy to do. It's not. But cases like these just remind me, Frank, just how dire the situation can be, especially since the past 5 years. We've seen things like 2020 with COVID, or with January 6th, or going back even further, if you lived in Boston during the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing and how they basically shut down an entire city.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, not to go all over the place, but I'm just curious where you would pick your thoughts on this.
Oh, I think that you're totally you're totally within bounds to connect all those things and to consider just how, I mean, even when you think about the response that you get from people in DC, yeah, I said to myself, oh, good. Oh, you know, there is a appropriate application of federal power over there in DC because it's not a state and the federal government is supreme over there. That's it. This was a very special jurisdictional, creation. And so for that reason, I don't care now. But when you start taking that outside the bounds of DC, and you start thinking about the response that people inside the city have who don't like it, and you see how really dumb the responses are. And then you go outside of the city and you start realizing that there are people who are just as ignorant to what the federal government cannot do in states that are not the area of DC, that this kind of federalization of police cannot happen and should not be allowed to happen in places like New York or New Jersey or anywhere else in the Union. And that everybody is essentially, nobody really understands, just they don't understand the 10th Amendment very well. And then so that's on the function of government, where people stand there.
Yeah, and exactly right. And real quick, Frank, this kind of highlights just how with the Texas redistricting debacle, where Texas Democrats have fled into Chicago, how they're trying to, protest, settling on a vote, which they would be outnumbered on, because Texas, by and large, has now become a majority red state. And now they've moved into a blue state only because of one city, which is Chicago, moved over there. And we'll see what happens if, Abbott follows through. But supposedly they have till the end of this week before Texas DPS will arrest them. But now you have places like New York, your home state, with Governor Kathy Hochul coming out saying that Greg Abbott is going above and beyond trying to gerrymander, and then likewise with Newsom over in California. And so it's literally state versus state versus state, whereby Texas is only playing the rules that have been instituted, which Democrat governors have taken advantage of. So, like you said, it's the 10th Amendment, and then also it's just this political theater of, well, I'm more holier than thou.
Yeah, yes. And then, of course, and thanks for the call, Cloud9.
Yeah,
no, and because, of course, the reason why there's state versus state versus state, which, you can compete with other states if you want to, but that's not what's going on here. Most people are paying attention to things that are none of their business because they understand that how the states fall, the only thing that really matters is the way that they're able to ask for money down the line. Now, obviously, you can see here, red state, blue state, if they come hat in hand to the president, whether that is a Democrat or a Republican, they're probably going to get the money. It's not like a Republican president gets into D.C. and suddenly all the Democrat governors are shut away, or vice versa. This is the business here, and that is really the biggest orbit that everybody's being held in place. Unless states are free from the money that is being laundered and siphoned through DC, then there is no real change that is going to come in a significant way, in a lasting way. Now, maybe you can say that some of the things we're going through right now that are making our economy stronger and everything else, they're going to be good prerequisites for future big time Band-Aid rips and all that, and I pray for it, trust me. But as Cloud9 was talking about with people's financial independence and stuff like that too, we were in a piss poor state there. Piss poor state, man. And that all trickles down. It's almost like trickle down responsibility. Everybody talks about trickle down economy, which is really just how the economy works when you really think about it. But when it comes to what really needs to happen within our federalist system that has been locked into place, and there is no more flexibility anymore. There is no more authority of the states by way of the 10th Amendment, and all of the money that flows illegally keeps everybody in place and takes away their autonomy. That right there, man, if that gets really broken apart, those adhesions are broken up, and that flexibility is put back in, is made priority again, it's going to be like trickle down responsibility, because there's no one to go with your tin cup to anymore and asking them, hey, can you come over here and cut our lawns? Can you come over? We have some local infrastructure that needs some patching up. Can you imagine being... I know that guy we were talking to, we were listening to, was in Washington, D.C., the place in question. But there are people 2,000, 3,000 miles away in other states, whether, who go to D.C. in the same way. We have local problems over here, 2,500 miles away from D.C. We need your money for our local infrastructure. It's like, damn, man. It's like, no. It's got to be reversed at some point. It's got to be reversed. At the very least, you got to start going to your state government. And the state government's got to stop sending more to D.C. so it could reinvest more into home. And, okay, we're having a little bit of a civics class tonight. There we go. 504, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Frank? This is Royal from New Orleans.
Okay.
Just a short one. I worked in Oakland in the mid-'90s at a can manufacturing plant, Del Monte, and there were 400 employees. 80% of them were black. We were cool with each other. It was all about respect and self-worth. And look, if you were a good worker, you got respect and everything. And I cannot believe the cultural shift that we have seen, I would say, since Obama came in. And I hate to use that term, I had black friends. I did, and I still do. But what we're getting, what they're forcing down our face is a division. I hate to use the Pink Floyd term. It's a division bell. They're trying to separate us to hate us, and I don't get it. It's unbelievable to me.
Well, you know what? It's a good point, and let me rock on that for a second, because I want to take a really quick break. But Royal, thanks for that, because number one, it is a division along that lines. They're not trying; they've done it. Obama was a big part of it. I mean, he would not have become president if not mostly for white liberals, and at the time, young, idealistic, pie in the sky. I would say independents. I wasn't a Democrat. I wasn't a Republican. I didn't even know the difference between the two parties. I was just saying, oh, history. Oh, Obama. He's a nice talker coming out of college. So they did it. And a lot of it happened during his administration. And everybody fell in line, and all of the good vibes that we came up with in the 90s that seemed like, hey, pretty cool. Like, thank God for all those people who fought all the civil rights for civil rights in the past, white, black, everybody coming together and making the way, because here we had a pretty good childhood, and then all of a sudden it just. I don't know how the hell you can turn back the clock, but it turned back pretty quick. Now, the media was on full blast. They did what they had to do. Barack Obama was a maniac, even though he was always so cool. Always so cool about it. He's an absolute hateful maniac. And then we have things that were happening to all of us. I mean, 2008, we get walloped with all of these really economically debilitating downturns from 2008 to 2020. I mean, with COVID right there, I mean, you think about all the people who were told, you want to talk about a complete turnaround in work ethic? All right. People were working more than they had in many years. Many years. What did they had? In 2019, wasn't black, in particular, black unemployment the lowest it had been since Eisenhower or something like that? I don't even know what the hell it was, but everybody was doing pretty well in 2019. Comparatively so. I understand that unemployment rates, we talk about that with Robin McCutcheon all the time, and nobody's giving you the real dirty truth about the whole thing, but still, we could feel, I mean, there was prosperity around 2019. Then everybody was told to stay in pajamas and work from home or don't work at all. And as you can see, you know, just like the reasons why people tell tourists at the national parks not to feed any of the animals, we're the same way. White or black, we're the same way. You know, some people, it doesn't matter what the hell it is, they want to work, and they were taught that dignity, that integrity aspect of work, and you can't separate the two. But for the most part, we've got some major problems that have reared its head culturally in that respect, just in the last 15, 20 years. It's serious stuff. So, race relations, it's crazy it didn't take that long. Didn't take that long to make that bad. Though, again, always remember, your experience out there, you gotta just keep that close to you and try not to get yourself too jaded. Don't make yourself jaded. They want black people completely hateful and suspicious of white people because everybody's a colonialist, a colonist, and they want black people and they want white people the same way with everybody else. So the messaging works both ways. It's a two-way mirror, and you know, that turns people into something in itself. So situational awareness, you can't let that go. You can't let what's going on. You can't see the trends. You can't see the crime statistics. You can't see what's going on out there with how people are talking to each other or not. You think you can engage with that woman that was talking in D.C.? There's no engaging there. They speak a different language, literally and figuratively. She could have been very articulate, which she wasn't, and it would still be a completely different language. And your opinion's not valid. It's a language of subservience and complete submission. It's a religious experience. There is no way to reason through it. And that's scary in itself. I mean, that's a sociopolitical thing. Your skin color only adds another level of depth to, you know, where you fall in the stack, the hierarchy of whose voice matters the most whenever a debate or a rally breaks out. Whenever a rally breaks out, you know exactly what the stack is going to be. Colored people up front, especially colored women up front, tip of the spear. Then it goes the men, then it goes the white women, and then of course the beast of burden white liberal men are in the back nodding with their signs and their muzzles on. So that's really all that matters there. You see that constantly. But the real for everybody who doesn't live inside of that awful echo chamber, black, white, Hispanic, whatever it is, anybody who doesn't live inside of that awful echo chamber and is out in the world and wants to make friends, wants to make partners, wants to find new colleagues and go out there and enjoy their lives and start a business, or, you know, just move into a nice, stable neighborhood and be good neighbors and just whatever. Those people, we've had to tiptoe around and find little ways to drop hints about how we see the world and kind of gauge people's reaction and say, okay, this one's cool. This one's cool. This person's cool. This one's cool. And like everybody's feeling each other out. Doesn't matter what color you are, you know? And that's the thing. That's the thing that sucks. At least when we all find each other, though, the stack is not really a thing. We're a little bit more like herding cats, you know. Try to get anybody to agree on anything. That's the real issue. Okay, 804, 805. I want to thank a sponsor of the show, a sponsor of the Jamboree. This show is supported in normal times when I'm not leading up to our first ever wonderful weekend of events that I've planned with Jay Gulanello that's coming up in about 3 weeks or so. Can't believe that. This show is really supported by this audience, and that is one of the greatest professional gifts. I'm so very, very thrilled about that, and it's wonderful. And the fact that people still keep coming on, because it's really just about people coming on and pledging just a little bit every month, and it adds up to something that has not only allowed me to grow in the studio and to support a family, but to expand in whatever way I can. But there's no way I would have been able to put this event on without going out and getting sponsors. If I wanted to be able to do new things, there's no way. And I am so grateful for the three main sponsors that came on. I'm grateful for all of our smaller ones as well. People you've already known for a while. Coffee Revolution of our coffee company that does our Elevation blend. Justin at Yes Cacao. But of course, Keto Brainz helped us put all this together, and we got the drop on some really great companies, including Dulsa. That's your botanical sweetener right there. So everybody, I'd love to just say, Dulsa, this is a good, as they say, ditch the sugar, skip the artificial, experience the natural sweetness your body deserves without compromise. Not only that, maybe you can't have sugar, but perhaps you just want to be able to spice things up or make something, you bring a little bit more flavor out in something without interfering with a fast, anything like that. These are wonderful products, including Dulsa, dulsalife.com. You can find them on the affiliates page on quitefrankly.tv with your promo code. Go check them out. Make sure you have Dulsa in your kitchen. It should just be in your cabinet. You know, it's not something you use every day, or maybe it is. But it's really wonderful, and these are companies I'm supremely grateful for because I want to keep doing new things. And thank you so much for Natalie at Dulsa, dulsalife.com. Go ahead. And you know what? Whatever you create with any of these products, of any of the partners that we've brought on over the last couple of months, and hopefully one or two stay on with us into the new year, and we get to work with them in the future because they're really wonderful and they only improve people's lives. I want to see what kind of recipes you've come up with. You know, eventually we're going to have the Quite Frankly magazine pop up quarterly again, and those would be great places to add in some recipes from any of the great sponsors and supporters that we have. So thanks again. Thanks again to you all, and thank you to Dulsa. All right, let's see. The lines are open. The lines are open. We have more for you guys, however you like. But now I want to introduce a couple of more topics. Number one, we already did a Canada thing. If you're from Canada, especially the Nova Scotia region, you let me know how that has gone over, how that edict to stay inside, don't go for a walk, don't go fishing. I don't know anybody who ever cast a fishing line and burned down a forest. So I just don't get it. Let me know how that's gone over, if this is something, an order that affected you personally. Here's another thing, completely off topic, but I saw David Lee Roth. This was tweeted out today, although I had seen it before on Instagram or somewhere else. David Lee Roth up on stage, and he's singing Panama, and, you know, Siri, how old is David Lee Roth? He's 70 years old. Okay. Now, compared to people who are a lot younger than him and out there and touring, he sounds better than a lot of younger people. But he's 70 years old, and one thing I will say is this: he's got it. That the pants have got to go. The fact that we can see his pecker is completely inappropriate. The pants have to go, but I'm okay with it. Look at his. Look at his energy. Okay, so there's a lot of people who are like, I don't know why these old timers just don't retire. I'm like, why are you forcing somebody in retirement if they've got the energy and they look like they're having fun and they have some kind of a voice? I mean, my parents went out to go see Tom Jones perform. I think it was last year or the year before, and yeah, he brought the key down with a lot of his bigger, beltier songs and whatever, and you adjust the key and your voice changes, especially when you get into your 70s or Tom Jones' 80s. But I don't understand why people are like, get off the stage. I mean, he's moving, he's having a good time. He has completely inappropriate pants on. You can't have those pants on. He should not have ever worn those pants in the 80s. Disturbing to have that gherkin jumping around in there. Well, nobody should see that. But what do you think about that? You really want to force? Does somebody really have to be forced into retirement just because they hit 70? I don't understand that. I don't get depressed by people being old and active. I don't have to do that. Some people are out now. Frankie Valli's another situation. I wasn't able to wait. Actually, Frankie Valli, I think he's going to be at the Capitol Theater. Wait, hold on. Wait a second. Frankie Valli, Capitol Theater. Is this happening? Frankie Valli tickets 2025. When's he going to be there? August 21st. He's going to be there in 10 days. I've got to wait. What day is that? The 20. Oh, it's a Thursday. Shit. I think we have G. Edward Griffin on that night. Oh man, I would. Oh wait. He's there on the 23rd as well. Oh, he's there on Saturday. Oh wait, Saturday 23rd. I'm going to be here. We have a Saturday night broadcast. My cousins Sherry and Dave are coming back on for another Saturday. Damn. Wait. He's coming back? I don't. Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's only on the 21st. So, shit. In 10 days from now, he's going to be not too far from here. That is somebody that I want to be able to see for myself. And I don't understand what's going on with Frankie Valli. I mean, it's either somebody is holding him up to it, or he just can't let go, but he doesn't look like he has any. He looks like an automaton. Have you ever been to Disneyland? You go into the Hall of Presidents, and you're listening to like James Garfield, and there's something going on with Frankie Valli right now that is a little disturbing, because unlike David Lee Roth, who has some pep in his step, and he's up there moving and grooving, and he's smiling, Frankie Valli's got this cold, icy stare going on. He's not blinking. He's definitely lip syncing. And how old is Siri? How old is Frankie Valli? Siri, how old is Frankie Valli, bitch? Siri, how old is Frankie Valli? Stop the shit. $1934. So what does that mean? 91 years old. Tony Black is 4 years older. He's in so much better shape. Tony Black is he can do all of the touring that Frankie Valli's doing right now. But there's something going. I don't know if it's pharmaceutical. What's going on? As long as he's doing it under his own power, I guess there's something there. If somebody wants to just go to a theater and say, I viewed Frankie Valli's body, because that's what you're doing. I saw Frankie Valli's body, because it's not his voice anymore. I don't know if there's any parts of the song, the show, that he actually sings, But yeah. So yeah, you can chop this up in a number of ways, but I say go ahead, David Lee Roth. Go ahead. More for you. The series of dildo throwing incidents at the WNBA games, they reportedly have been tied to a meme coin pump scheme. Now this, I have to say, not ethical at all, but genius. You think about this, how easy it would be to get the attention. I mean, I don't think that anybody's actually out there and doing this from the beginning. But to be able to watch the media and to see what is going on in the world of sports and everything else, in one of the most bizarre scandals to hit professional sports, the WNBA has been dealing with a string of disruptions where fans have been hurling dildos onto the court during games. For weeks, there was no explanation for the strange and dangerous disruptions, but now appears to be promotion for a cryptocurrency meme coin, according to a new report from The Athletic. The sex toy incidents are linked to a group of cryptocurrency investors trying to pump up a meme coin called the Green Dildo Coin. The disruptions began in late July during a game between Atlanta Dream and the Golden State Valkyries, where a green sex toy was thrown and caused on it. So this all from the beginning? And then Indiana Fever guard Sophie Cunningham addressed the issue and said, please stop throwing these things on the court. It's dangerous. It's good. You're going to hurt one of us. I wonder if she was in on it. I wonder if they were in on it. The conversations appeared that there's this. During Tuesday's live stream of The Athletic, there's talk of someone throwing another toy at Seattle Storm's Climate Pledge Arena during Tuesday's game against Minnesota Lynx. Though no incident occurred, a Storm spokesperson confirmed to The Athletic. So apparently they've been trying. I mean, I don't know how much this has made people. If you made any money on this, please let me know. Perhaps you just understand the game. When something like this is only going to have a short shelf life, perhaps that's just the name of the game. Maybe it isn't unethical. Maybe it's just, hey, listen, this is how the game goes. Right now, it's huge. We're going to start a meme coin, and eventually it's going to be gone. Can you make a couple of quick bucks there and play your hand at the casino? That's what I would want to know. Did you ever think... How could anyone ever think that you'd be able to go into a convenience store and buy a Snickers bar and charge it to your green dildo coin? Like it was ever going to be accepted. If that's the way that it even works, I don't know. So if you were part of that, or if you can explain the entire thing, then by all means call in. But it looks like we're going to have a short show tonight anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then we have this. I have a couple of things for you guys. This came your way from the morning crew on the coffee stream. Subtle inventions of the past, not too far in the distant past, or maybe whatever you got, that significantly changed the world, but would be hard to just pull out of a hat because they were just so subtle. Listen to these. Number one, the zipper, 1913. Invented by Gideon Sundback. Thank God for Gideon. Thank God for him. It revolutionized clothing, and even though the zippers on a couple of jackets I had recently are absolute ass. Did he invent a good zipper? Or is it the zippers from Kohl's? Absolute ass. Making fastening quicker and more reliable than buttons or laces. The ballpoint pen, 1938. That's pretty big right there. The Post-it note in 1974. Who invented Post-its? What was that from? Romy and Michelle's high school reunion? What the hell was the Post-it used? Somebody invented the Post-it. Velcro in 1940s. I watched American Pie the other night. No, I watched a couple of minutes of American Pie last night. Dear Lord. I finally finished Road Trip the other night as well. Good Lord. But man, it brings you back. And I got to keep digging up more of those videos. I got to dig up more and more of those movies. Barcode. The barcode was invented in 1952. I didn't know that. That seems like it would be a little bit more contemporary. And then there's 10 more ones over here because I wanted to generate these. It's a safety pin in 1849. The paperclip in 1899. The rubber band, 1845. That's pretty cool. 1845. They were probably using rubber bands during the Civil War, no doubt. They had the time. Adhesive tape, 1925. Disposable contact lenses, introduced by Johnson & Johnson. Now, I remember, were the contact lenses always soft? Or were they, because I remember that my father had them, they were glass. They were domed glass. But I know that there are soft contact lenses now. I wonder, were they always one way or another, or was there always a choice between the two? That's up to you guys. The QR code, that was started in 1994. You probably thought it was like 2014. Developed by Denso Wave, this matrix barcode enabled quick access data, revolutionizing inventory, marketing, and digital payments with its understated design. Silicone in the 1900s. Wowee. Frederick Kipping led to versatile materials used in medical implants. Oh, we know. We know. Cookware and electronics. I love that. Hey, Sentinel, do you have a understated invention from the last century or two that has changed the world?
Well, I just wanted to weigh in on the contacts.
Yeah.
Contacts originally came out, they were concave and solid, and then they came out with what they called rigid contacts that were semi-flexible, and then in the 90s they came out with soft contact lenses that were just flat plastic or plastic that would lay on your eyes. So I couldn't wear contacts until the soft ones came out. It bothered my eyes.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, and I kind of missed the start of the show because I had to get my hairs cut, and I had to wait in line at the barbershop, so I missed the first part. But I'm sure you talked about the D.C. incident in the National Guard, which I don't know which way you came down on it, but there is legal precedent for it. And when we did post-World War or Civil War, Congress passed a series of laws and had Reconstruction. The entire South was divided into 8 million people zones, and they were put a general in charge and gave them an army, and they were law and order for years, about 3. They kept changing the rules, but eventually all the states recanted secession, adopted a new constitution in the 14th Amendment, and repudiated Confederate debt, and took a loyalty to the Constitution oath, and then they were put back into the Union. And then Reconstruction was over. But there was lots of killing, and the rise of the KKK expelled all the Republicans that had gotten elected in those 2 election cycles. So I posted a link to it in the Speakeasy if anybody wants to read about a short 70-page report from the Army. So,
well, thank you so much. Where did you drop that in?
The Speakeasy on X.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. All right, on the community over there. Well, thank you so much, Sentinel. Thank you.
You bet.
All right, take care. Let's go. 815, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Frank, how's it going?
Oh, it's going. Go ahead.
I hope this is okay. It's kind of about the Illinois-Texas thing.
The Illinois what thing?
Texas.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so my husband and I are precinct committeemen for a county in Illinois. So we've seen directly, like, what a hypocrite, like, J.B. Pritzker and everything is firsthand, because the county we currently live in, where we're precinct committeemen, was, like, gerrymandered. So we kind of have this weird look to our county, and we have like this like arm thing that goes like up, but it includes a college. So what we saw that the Democrats did in our state was actually a couple interesting things. There was a Republican candidate that we were doing a lot of door knocking and canvassing for. She was doing fantastic, but because they included that where they changed how our county looks. So it went less from a grid. We had this arm. What they did was the far left crazy candidate she had, the Democrats came around her, gave her a bunch of money, and then Lauren Underwood, which is another crazy lefty in our state, they went up to this college and they started just registering all these kids to vote. And they beat the candidate we had that was actually doing really good by like 500 votes. So we saw firsthand, and we're new to all of this stuff, but like how these Democrats kind of just like rework things to their advantage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing when it comes to gerrymandering and redistricting or whatever, you do see, and it becomes one of those circular kind of arguments because both sides do it. When you see the shape of some of these districts, they are absolutely ridiculous just to be able to squeak out another Republican seat based on demographics, and then of course the bending, pretzel like shape of another district for a Democrat. I mean, both sides do it, and to varying degrees, and wherever they have more legislative power. I mean, you can say, hey, well, they're doing some crazy shit to make sure that there's only one party in power over here, and say, hey, well, everybody's going to do what's good for the goose is good for the gander, I guess. So that's just one of those. That's just one of those things where, yeah, it happens, and some examples are more egregious than others, but everybody does it.
Yeah, it just sucks because
I know.
Here where we are in Illinois, like we're in the sticks. A lot of people think of Chicago when they think of Illinois, but like if you actually come to Illinois, it's like farmland.
I mean, it's essentially New York. That's essentially New York.
So,
There's the southeastern tip of New York is what everybody thinks the entire state is, and it's just not the case. It's just the southeastern tip.
It's just like we're beholden to these crazy Democrats. Like we will hear other candidates come and like speak when we go to like our monthly meetings, and they say it's like walking into a different world. These people are just in their own like dimension, and they said it's such a switch, like coming from like normal life, and then you go to Springfield and it's like insane, and then you leave and you have to like readjust to normal life because they're just kind of kooky.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and as I said just not too long ago, about both sides doing it and all that stuff, it doesn't take away the sting whenever you think that you have a chance of getting somebody to represent your interests either in the state or in Washington, D.C., and because of a quarter mile swipe of a pen you get cut out of one district and suddenly you're in some hopelessly blue one, and it's ridiculous how you get neutralized. It really makes you wonder what American representation in government really is all about, even on local levels. So I get the frustration 100%. It doesn't matter what is redistricted around here. I'm not getting anybody that's going to represent my interest. That's for sure.
Yeah, I know. But it just sucks because they know what they're doing, like to include a college, and then they go target. And here in Illinois, we don't have any laws protecting that. Like if somebody's not even a resident, they can just register to vote there. And I know they have an active lawsuit, but I don't really know how far it's even going to go now. There's nothing here that protects anybody. I feel like in all this election type stuff, it's kind of a mess here, really.
Well, thank you for giving us a little bit of context, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night.
Hey, you too, Frank. Thanks.
You got it. Talk to you soon. Let's go 219. It's kind of like open lines now. You can bring whatever you want to the table. Let's have some fun. Damn it. Go ahead.
Okay, Frank. This is John Otter.
Hey, John.
I got an invention for you that just absolutely changed the world.
Here it goes.
It changed my life. And I know Lauren doesn't like the word, but moist towelettes or wet wipes, invented in the 50s sometime. On these hot days, dude, you get all, especially I worked outdoors and stuff, and keep a bunch of, buffalo wings Towelette packets or Kentucky Fried packets of these things in your glove box, and you get uncomfortable in any way, you get gritty or whatever, or you get scalded, for God's sake. It's like, hey, dude, take this. Go back in the woods over there. Take care of yourself,
Absolutely. I'm with you on this. These wipes are fantastic, and I don't really use them, but whenever I need them, and if they're around, oh man, especially like you said, if you went to any kind of a restaurant, you're going in on some barbecue, and oh man, there's nothing like and it has to be. The worst thing is getting one of those packets open, and the wipe is really not that wet.
Now, see, I stepped up my game. I went ahead and you can get like 3 packs of the big like baby wipes at Walmart for pretty cheap. And you just keep those things in the truck. And I even got a caddy for it that's actually sealed well. It's got actual gaskets on it so they don't dry out. So, I mean, this is hella gay stuff, but I mean, heck yeah, dude. Anybody that hasn't kept a stash of moist wet wipes around doesn't know what they're missing.
It's not gay when you say wet wipes. It's gay when you say moist towelettes. Let's say 413, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Frank. It's Grady from Massachusetts.
Hello,
How
Grady.
You doing?
Welcome to hear from you.
Thank you. Want to go on the invention thing? I know you're looking for recent stuff, but there's an invention I think is way overlooked. It's very, very ancient.
What is it?
That's a baby sling.
A baby
Most primates.
A baby sling? Sling?
Sling. Yeah.
Okay.
A holder, a papoose, a backpack, anything like that.
Okay.
Most primate babies can cling to their mother tightly while the mother moves around. That's not the case with humans. So the sling allowed a mother with a young infant to move around freely or having to actually hold the baby, free her arms up to be much more independent than she was before. I think that made a major impact that's not generally recognized in early human culture.
I'm with you. That is that's a good one. I'm glad that people are bringing stuff on the air that was not in this short list that I generated by talking to Grok. That's great. A baby sling. Thank you for that. And Grady, you're coming out to the Jamboree, right?
Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to meeting you too, sir. Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
All right, let's go. 517, you're on the air. Keep them coming.
Hey, Frank. You said it's open lines, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So last week, I wasn't able to get through on the school night when you were talking about how crazy the schools are.
Yeah.
And so I just had a story. My wife is a math major, and my niece was doing her algebra homework, and she's in high school here in Michigan, and she needed help with her homework. So my wife is looking at her homework, and she was like, well, this is wrong. This is all wrong. How did you get an A on this? And she says, well, my teacher grades on completion, not on actual work.
No.
Yeah. So
No.
that's the state of our schools here in Michigan.
Oh, wow. I mean, obviously, who cares? I was just going to say, obviously, that couldn't be all schools, but who cares if it's some schools? That's just, what the hell's the point? Then when you hear stuff like that, then it's a reminder that you really are, that school really is a convenience for parents to go off and work their jobs and have somebody watch their kids for 8 hours.
100%.
I mean, when you hear,
I see that all the time.
When you hear something like that, then it's just like, okay, so this really is mostly daycare. I mean, hopefully when they graduate 8th grade or whatever, they are literate enough to handle whatever watered down shit they give them in freshman year of high school. But I mean, that's incredible. You pass just for
completing it. And then we ask her I'll ask her what she did in, school today. And well, we colored with crayons.
How old? But how old is she?
She's 16. She's going into her junior year. But this was last year, her sophomore year.
I was convinced you were going to say something like 5th or 6th grade.
I know. I was shocked when she was telling us all this. I mean, they have like movie days like twice a week. They just go and watch movies.
Did you just say that not only is she 16, sophomore year going into junior year, and that your wife was checking the test, found incorrect answers, and of course then learned that if we filled it out we pass. But did you also say that she was still coloring with crayons in school?
Yes. I'm not shitting you, man. I couldn't believe it, and as a taxpayer, like it really pisses me off.
When you said crayons, I said, okay, you go easy. It has to be second or third grade. I cannot believe what I just heard. Oh my!
Tell me about it.
Oh my! Well, I don't know what to say. Well, still, that's on them. Otherwise, your daughter's doing well.
My daughter's doing great. That's my niece we're talking about.
Oh, your niece. Oh, I'm so geez. My bad.
My daughter. Yeah, my daughter's one and will never be in the public school system. So
my daughter, good. You're a couple of years ahead of the game. You're having all the previews you need.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Well, listen. All the best to your 1-year-old and to the wife and everybody over there. Thanks for calling in, man.
Yeah, thanks. You too, man.
Damn, I needed that. Jeez, I needed that. I'm telling you, it's 8 hours of, and that's in the high school level. When he said 16, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. From Jerry, Frank, what did you think about? Oh gosh, what did you think about the first female MLB umpire? Oh, I commented on it, so I can just probably go find the clip. What do I think about it? It's exactly what the game was missing. Not ridiculous. I mean, you should have heard all of the broadcasters. Of course, I got a front row seat to it. I was outside yesterday working out and all that stuff, and I was listening to WFAN on my little transistor radio. So I was listening to Dave Sims and Susan Waldman talk about it. Of course, gushing, but everybody did. Every broadcaster in the league that I heard, like they had a gun to their head. It's about time. That's the line that they parroted as if they had guns to their heads. It's about time. Gushing over this woman's arrival as if she's the second coming of Jackie Robinson. And I don't know, man. I just can't take it anymore. Can't. Look, it's a reflex at this point. Reflex. If there's an all-male space, especially a professional space, it becomes a glass ceiling. Doesn't matter where it is. There's only ever something like 80 professional full-time umpires in Major League Baseball at any given time. If there's more than 80, I would be there's no way there's anywhere near 100 umpires that are full-time. And the fact that they were all male was just too much. Because that's a boys' club. That's a boys' club. Now we get to see women blow calls just as well. And apparently she didn't have a very good day. And apparently the first ball that was pitched in her game, what is this? It's the Braves versus, who are they playing? The Marlins. And the very first pitch of the game, she called a strike, and it was like the half a foot inside. Half a foot inside. Here, take a look. Wait. Yeah, I'm taking your calls. Keep the calls coming. I just want to play this for a second.
Ready. And here we go.
Nope.
Joey Wentz likes that
inside.
first call from Jim Powell.
How about the Tigers?
So they had a compilation. And now here's the thing. This is what you're going to see. Everybody's always auditing. This is actually a channel called Umpire Auditing. But everybody's always rating umpires. Apparently she missed 14 calls. Just about 90% correct. She was ranked 13 of the 15 umpires that were calling games that day from behind the plate. Now, this is just regularly what everybody does when it comes to the human element and umpires and all that stuff, ripping on historically bad umpires like Angel Hernandez. That's all part of the game's culture. Now it'll just be sexist. Okay, you're never going to be very far away from that accusation. It'll just be sexist. I just please, just make this all go away. Can't take it. Really can't. All right, here's another one for you while people call back in. I'm sorry, I broke the momentum. Did you know that AOL still has dial-up internet service, and it is officially going away on September 30th of this year? I didn't know this, but after 34 years, I saw this yesterday floating around. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. I saw this yesterday floating around. For those of you who know, you know. There's that's it. Oh, this is when you knew that you were going to get on. And that all of your friends, you got to say, oh, God, I'm coming, guys. I'm coming. Wait for me. All your friends from school, they got together in a private chat room or something. You want to get on AIM. This is when you knew you were in like Flynn. Okay? Because the worst thing you could ever get was that busy signal. And 1995, 6, 7, 8, oh, boy. Oh, man. Busy signals it was, especially a certain time of day, after school, at night, around 7, 8 o'clock. Every time that AOL updated their service and they actually added more access numbers, and you started getting access numbers that they had so many access numbers, these lines that you can log into, that you actually start seeing your hometown pop up. It was that localized, that hyper localized, that they wanted to make sure everybody had good connectivity. That was great. That was great. 56K dial up, baby. It's all going away on AOL, at least, on September 30th of this year. I can't believe it. I can't believe it because I thought it was already gone. Let's take a call. 619, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, hi. This is Kay.
Kay, how are you?
This is Frank. Good. Yeah, I'm calling about the inventions. The invention that changed the world a lot.
Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, a little out of breath. I'm out here doing my composting.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, the oil drill. The oil drill was an invention that actually my great-great-grandfather was, I don't know if he was the only one that did. He had a little manufacturing place in Tiddiout, Pennsylvania, and he did the oil drill for Pennzoil. When cars started becoming something that people bought and invested in, they needed oil, so they started drilling oil. And my great-great-grandfather, Fred Grettenberger, invented an oil pump. And he and his oil pump, not oil drilled, I said drill, an oil pump that would pump the oil out of the ground. And he and his 3 sons ran this manufacturing place out there in Tiddiout. It's a very small town on the Allegheny River. And I went there and visited with my father back in 2014 because my father was a great grandson of him. And there's a little plaque in the town, and it tells about the oil pump. And
so I have to imagine you now. I'm going to accept this, Kay, because it is a really cool story that comes from a family invention. Because I would say that anything that has to do with oil pumping or oil drilling is a lot bigger than, the invention of the paperclip. Because, the world is still run on oil these days, but I'm going to accept it because it is it's a really cool family story too. I have to imagine though that it wasn't, you guys didn't live like the Rockefellers. You guys didn't have a generational wealth. No.
No, my great-grandfather, he was a great-great-grandfather. He was an immigrant from Germany, and he came over when he was like 14 years old with a family friend. He didn't have a family or anything over here, and he was turned into be an entrepreneur, and then he became a machinist, and he had a machine shop, and then he married and had 3 sons, and his 3 sons grew up working in his machine shop in Tiddiout. And my father was the grandson, and he grew up and became a machinist. And he was actually the head of the machine shop in City College here in San Diego. at one point in his life. But anyway, so there's a long history there. But I have a picture of the plaque that has the name of the pump and my great-great-grandfather that I could email to you as proof.
Please, no, yeah,
and I'm sure there was more than one person that invented a pump.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just one of those things where in an industry, especially like oil, whatever drill or whatever pump was invented one day was going to be improved upon, and there's always going to be innovation, and it's still to this day in that respect. But I just wonder, of course, because when people hear that, you have a family member that was able to bring a new piece of equipment to market to take this black liquid gold out of the earth, they think, okay, well, how much generational wealth was created for this family? Or so you're not filthy rich, you're saying? Oh no, at least not through my family. I'm not. I became pretty well to do through our own. My husband and I, our own efforts. But well, good. Do you know? We started a business in our garage when we were first married, and we ended up selling it for double-digit millions when we retired. So that was fun. Very nice. That's awesome. That's really great to hear. So then, I mean, other than that, going back to the last question I have about your family is, do you know when your family officially exited the oil business? So was it a grandfather? Who was it that said we're leaving? Was it because a proprietary technology or a well or land or something was sold off? When did your family officially exit the business? Okay, well, just to be clear, we were never in the oil business. My great-great-grandfather was a machinist. Gotcha. And he built and invented machines. Okay. And so he built the pump, and he sold it to the oil companies that would do the actual pumping. Pennzoil. So we were never into oil. That was not us. We're okay. Well, that's more the artisan type Germans. The peasant stock artisans. That makes a lot more sense, and still that's great. And okay, so then I guess the true last question is, when did your family stop producing machinists? Your father was a machinist. Did he have any male heirs? Is that because that sounds great that you have generational skill, that a trade that it seems to be this is the story with many people in this country. These trades were often passed down. They were very familial and all that stuff, and then everybody at some point, there's one generation that breaks the cycle, goes off to college, and starts studying jazz dance. So what was it? The way it worked in my family was, I'm one of 11 siblings. I'm second oldest, and I have 6 brothers, and 5 of those went into manual trade, mostly in the construction industry, because technology changed a lot over the course of us growing up, and the in machine industry, it changed a lot with all the new technology. So, but construction is a big thing in San Diego because it was a growing town, and there's always new things to be built. And one of my brothers got his own company going as construction, and I have 2 other brothers that are in their own business, and my husband and I went into our own business. So we all became entrepreneurs in different areas. I did have my older sister became a psychiatrist at Harvard, but there wasn't any money in our family. We grew up quite poor. I mean, not poor, but people would probably say I had a pretty good upbringing, but we didn't have any extra money, put it that way. And there was 11 kids, so and my dad was a machinist, didn't bring in a whole lot of money, but we made do, and we did really well. Our whole family, each one had their gifts and used them wisely, and it's okay. It's a success story. Well, I love it. I love all these American stories, and I appreciate you calling in tonight, Kay. And all the best to you and your composting. And I'll talk to you soon. Yeah, someday I'll tell you about my composting and what we're doing now. Okay, we sold our company. Yeah, that's another story. You got it. But good show, Frank. Take care. Well, thank you. Well, especially the last 40 minutes or so, it's I throw the show into everybody's lap over here. So the show is what you call in with. 513, go ahead.
Posting, and I'll talk to you soon.
Hi. Hi, Frank.
Hey, who's this?
Good. Hey, I'm
This is Good?
Cincinnati.
Hello, Good.
I'm Meg.
Meg, how are you?
I'm good. I'm from Cincinnati, and I used to be a X-ray tech back in the 70s. This is on inventions that improved lifestyle.
Oh, the X-ray. Well, I mean, okay. Well, the X-ray, that's a big thing. What we were talking about is, I mean, nobody would be able to put out there just how important the X-ray is than an X-ray tech, no doubt.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean,
it's a big one.
What's that?
That's a big invention. What about a smaller, more subtle one?
Oh, well, out of the X-ray is the CT scanner.
The CAT scan.
The CAT scan, yeah. I was one of the techs that brought the first CAT scanner on board at Christ Hospital in Cincinnati.
Well, that's an interesting factoid there. That's you. You did that.
Yeah, that's me.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, see, we got firsts over here. Still, I would say, as it is, as we're talking about the main second half topic is compared to the ballpoint pen or the baby sling or something like that. The CAT scan, and the X-ray. I mean, that is still indispensable in the medical field and in every hospital in the union. So no doubt about it. It's very important. But we were looking for things that were understated that you would almost forget about them.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Anyway.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize. I'm glad for the call. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All righty.
Thank you.
There you go. Well then, making history out there with the CAT scans. 8:51. Let's take another call. Dean, what's going on?
Hey, Frank. I'll keep this short and sweet. Just something to maybe leave people in a little bit of a cheery mood. It's got a little bit of a comment that has to do with the culture of the show, So after dinner tonight, let our kids go back out and jump in the pool for a little bit. And, me and the wife cleaned up and did our stuff. Go out there to get them, bring them back in, and walk in the house. And I'm like, all right, get your swimsuits off, get dressed. Levi, without skipping a beat, turns around and looks at me and goes, "You're going."
You see,
there you go, King.
There you go. Wait,
there
it's
you go,
the
my
new
boy King.
the new generations got a little bit more pep in their step. That's for sure.
Yeah,
love it. I love it.
Yeah,
King will love it too.
So yeah, that's all I got, Frank. Just want to keep it short and sweet. It's kind of a little bit off the topics of tonight, but I thought that would be a good thing to throw in there because it pertains to the show in general. So
well, you're the man, and I'm happy. I'm happy you called in. I'm glad all the calls are flooding in now. And yeah, all the best to you and the family out there, my friend. Take care.
All right, brother. You as well.
See you later. Yeah, well, we were hanging out in our neighbor's pool on Saturday for a little bit on Saturday afternoon. And it was, if it wasn't for Aurora, I would not have gone in. It just wasn't hot enough. Everything has changed on a dime. We hit 90 today. It's going to be around 90 for the rest of the week, I think. But it's got to be sweltering for me to want to go in a pool. It's got to be sweltering. I like being in the sun. I like sweating my ass off. And then just after you get as dirty as possible, just go take a shower. But it's got to be 95 plus for me to want to go in a pool. So there's that. Last call of the night. Brian, last call of the night. End it nice.
All right. What's going on, man? I will just do one, an invention that's a lot of people, it's a very odd one. I'll make this quick. It's like 1900 something or late 1800s. Cornflakes is actually the invention. I don't know if you're aware of this.
It's very. Do you know its initial purpose?
Yeah, it was for patients. It was for like in hospitals. It was supposed to be a vegetarian food.
More than that, are you going to you know the inventor of cornflakes thought that it would be a good deterrent from I believe masturbation.
What?
I believe that there was a
Fuck out of here. What are you talking about?
I seriously, I think that there was a masturbation element to cornflakes. Like the inventor was like, it was crazy. Hold on, wait a second. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, come on. I'm looking.
I thought that's what you were calling in for because you always got like, crazy ass facts. I was like, oh, I know where he's going with this one. Hold on. Cornflakes.
It's a common misconception.
Hold on. Let's see here. The connection between cornflakes and jacking off comes from the unusual story of the cereal's creation. John Harvey Kellogg, a 19th century physician and health reformer, invented cornflakes as part of a bland diet he believed would curb sexual impulses, including masturbation.
Yeah, easily digestible food. It went with his anti-masturbation beliefs.
I'm telling you. Now you can tell. Now you can throw that out there too. Thank you for bringing up cornflakes. It was, you're talking about breakfast cereals. Yes, very, very big invention that you would forget. Hey, every last one of these cereals have to be invented at some point. But why?
Right? True. What about grape nuts, bro? The fuck made those?
Oh, I know. And you know what?
I mean, with a little sugar, I can do it because my grandpa was maybe. But dude, that's like some chewing on rocks, pebbles, straight up. Dude.
Okay, well, if they have grape nuts O's. If you get the grape nuts like rings, those are really good.
Yeah, they have flakes now, I think too.
I don't know about those, but I'll tell you if you had original grape nuts like you're saying, and you just put that in. First of all, whatever you think you put into a bowl was just a little amount. It's not a little. You always put too much grape nuts in. You're eating it forever.
Right?
Forever,
bro. 100%. Well, we'll just make it sweet, and so I hope your crypto accounts are doing well, and your cum rocket crypto coins going through the roof.
It is.
Triple your profits in 3 days.
Yes.
And as soon as you get me your account number and routing number, we will start your trading account again, okay?
Good. I'll be sending you all my Exodus information after the show. Thank you, sir.
Perfect. Bye-bye.
Okay, take care. There you go. Everybody eat your cornflakes. All right, thank you guys and gals so much. Thank you, Stowstube. Says, hey, Frank, just dropping a quick super chat on this fine Monday listen. Thank you, Stowstube. Thank you, Jay Britz. And to Shotzi. Starting tomorrow, I got some really great stuff to give away. Some really interesting stuff to give away. Some blast from the past. Can't wait to do with you guys. Thank you, Shotzi, as well, for kicking the whole week off. And on Rumble, you guys have been really nice to watch get a little bit more lively tonight. Belushi on Pills as Frank Grok went rogue again, and it's comedy gold. Must watch. Well, maybe we can get some of that together tomorrow when I have the boys in the Nephilim Death Squad on with me. But for now, we're going to get off the air right now because we're starting book club in just a couple of minutes with Lindsay Sharman. It's session 2 for The Body, and it's going well. We'll do that in just a little bit, and I will see you guys tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Take it easy, and get the hell out of here.
I'll catch you on the flip side.